Graduates, the only possible explanation for this is that you figured I would go full Socratic and cold call your parents. Some of you relished knowing that your loved ones are here, but they are, shall we say, less than fully prepared. As such, you figured the interrogations would be especially ruthless and then devolve into diatribe. But sadly, you miscalculated because I would never, ever do those things. Not in the presence of Judge Prudenti. Substantively, there is no meritorious reason for me to receive this honor. Still, graduates, as you know from Erie, it all comes down to substance v. procedure. Contracts, torts, property, study them for your bar exams, yes, but please, they are mere parchment promises without what? Without process to make the substance real. So naturally, I manipulated it. The non-explanation for our shared circumstance is this. I did not hire my sort of, kind of, but not really lawyer, who absolutely did not create a shell corporation, the funding for which was definitely not money laundering, and the corporate purpose of said non-shell was definitely not to pay Professor Albert, with whom, as you know, I have a torrid and long-running rivalry. Any payment that did not occur was not so that she would not be on the ballot this year, and the evidence indicating that it did happen is fake news. It's a witch hunt. No pun intended for you. But don't take my word. Rely on your wisdom and experience. All of us know that not even Russian oligarchs could afford what it would cost to hush Professor Albert. Still, even without Miriam in the picture, you had many superior options. You could have chosen from among the faculty's esteemed scholars, its accomplished attorneys, and its dedicated teachers. Or you could have just chosen Gunlock. Graduates, I believe in you, and I believe you have the power to change our civic discourse. I urge you to turn up the caliber of our debate, perhaps even by turning down its volume. The judicial opinions with which you've wrestled started with a species that is fast becoming endangered. Basic fact. Your professors expected you to do the same. Maybe, just maybe, there is merit to such a method. When heat rather than light is the end game, when the goal is all about getting the choir, no matter how off-key, to sing more loudly, when the goal is dissonance, even violence rather than civility, the line between fact and opinion is blurred, even obliterated. Resist the temptation to characterize one as the other. Whether in the crucible of the Socratic method or on your exams, none of you got away with characterizing opinion as fact. I know you didn't because you would not be graduating from this institution if that had been your modus operandi. So why indulge it now? Recognize that whatever your positions, whether in law, politics, relationships, not every fact is clear, much less clearly in your favor. We have juries for a reason. Occasionally, admitting that not every fact is on your side might be not a sign of weakness, but rather wisdom. If all politics are local, then we must engage in civil discourse at its most granular levels. The national circus may be sexy, but if you find yourself screaming over presidential politics and clueless as to the issues facing your states, cities, and communities, well then, Hempstead, we have a problem. Not just of tone, but of priorities. No matter your politics, it is a certainty that millions across America and around the globe will disagree with you. Maybe they're not all demonic crazies. This is not to recommend a watered-down, postmodern, each to their own ethic. On the contrary, when you believe something strongly, stand, disagree, fight, advocate. Just don't forget to listen. When it comes to tone as to difficult questions, I concede my own struggles and hypocrisies. So what do I believe? Well, I believe those who advocate torture and indefinite detention without meaningful review would have us become precisely what we have beheld. I believe religious majorities who, instead of prioritizing tenets like love thy neighbor, ask how, via the law, they can diminish those different from them, are themselves a serious threat to our republic. I believe the First Amendment is intended to empower all the people, including the poor, not to be an ironclad guarantee of the best democracy that money can buy. I believe we must recognize and confront the realities of the Me Too moment, and that we must do so without abandoning due process. I believe courts need to remain the last safe place, the arena where what is popular matters less than what is principled, and I believe that rights are made real only when remedies are both actual and actually accessible. There are people in this audience today who changed your diapers, washed your laundry, prepared your meals, and indulged your again, pleas and requests on playground swings. They did not expect and usually did not receive a thank you. Their reward is to see you walk across the stage tonight. Their reward is to marvel at what you have and will become. But question, did the parents of Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice deserve any less? I believe that if our only response to Aurora, Columbine, Virginia Tech, Sandy Hook, Pulse, Charleston, Las Vegas, Sutherland, Parkland, Santa Fe, and wherever is next, is to offer thoughts and prayers, then these are not only tragedies, but horrific crimes in which we are complicit. Still, I believe to my core that I need to listen to your perspectives, and I have relished the opportunity to do so for the last 3 years. Perhaps together we can all strive for a society where being a, quote, flip-flopper is less a pejorative and more an indication of the evolving, open mind on which all enlightenment is predicated. I lack the hubris to advise you how to find your professional raison d'etre. That said, I offer one crude litmus test to consider or reject as you wish in the coming years. If you litigate, you will win and you will lose. If you do transactional work, sometimes the deal will go through, sometimes it will not. And as you hopefully learned in contracts, sometimes the deal will go through, but with unanticipated consequences such that long after the deal gets done, defeat is snatched from the jaws of ephemeral victory. The litmus test is this: does it hurt to lose? If so, how much? I submit that the way to measure whether you are doing the work that is right for you is that the losses, the mistakes, should really, really hurt. Wins and success feel good, even when the stakes are trivial. For that matter, apathetic attorneys are the allies of injustice. But if your losses, your mistakes, your failings don't cause you anguish, reconsider your options. Because starting today, much more than mere letter grades will be at stake. For your clients, whether it is their liberty, child custody, property, safety, or reputation at stake, it will not be a mere hypothetical. As a lawyer, I've been privileged to be part of some wins and some losses. And I can tell you without reservation that the hurt of the losses exponentially exceeded the joy of the wins. It still does. So how will you know you care deeply about a client and or a cause? For me, it's when years and years removed from a loss, the key moments still replay frame by painstaking frame in my mind. The torment remains constant, perpetual, and unyielding. What if we had simply been better? At best, the re-examination is compartmentalized, at worst, consuming. Yet, graduates, as cruel and perverse as this sounds, it is precisely my admiration and respect for you that leads me to hope that you experience similar torment, similar anguish, and similar struggles. You're welcome. Choose to pursue not loss, but the courage required for the losses to hurt. It's often said that you don't know what you've got until it's gone. But like hearsay, the rule is very much about the exceptions. And for me, the exceptions to that rule sit on this stage and in this audience. They are the class of 2018. As early as midway through their 1L year, I was deeply, even fearfully aware that this special group of young men and women would not grace our law school forever. Intellectually, I knew then what emotionally I feel most acutely now. We have been fortunate, even spoiled, to have had but a temporary lease on your time. Graduates, this award means something to me for only one reason: because it comes from you. You impress, you inspire, and I believe that if you flap your wings, there will be tidal waves. It is a great privilege to think of you not as former students, not as graduates, but as colleagues in law and friends in life. Thank you.